Hello and welcome back to the Cyberlord YouTube channel. Today's review is a Doctor Who review. It's a Doctor Who Big Finish review. It's Doctor Who Return of the Krotons. That's right, starring Colin Baker as the Sixth Doctor. And we're going to be doing our usual sort of layout and formats of a Big Finish review. I'm going to be telling you what goes on in the story and what happens, the plot, telling you how much I enjoy it and then how much I would recommend it to you. And let's start off with doing the first thing, which is telling you who's in it. So, Colin Baker and India Fisher in Return of the Krotons, written by Nicholas Briggs, and featuring Philip Maddock with Nicholas Briggs as the Krotons. Now, there's a certain person on there, which is Philip Maddock, who I'm going to get into later on in the video, so stay tuned for that. So as you can see on the front there, we've got a Kroton along with India Fisher's character, Charlie Pollard, and of course the Sixth Doctor himself, Colin Baker. So that's I love the front cover art for this. I like the sort of pink and bluey grey sort of design to it, which is a personal favourite of mine for the Big Finish front cover as well. What we'll do is we'll just turn this around here and show you the back of the CD box here. So Return of the Krotons, written and directed by Nicholas Briggs. If you'd like to, you can pause the video right here. That's sort of a brief overview of what goes on in the story. Pretty much what I'm going to say to you in this video, but this will probably take you about 30 seconds to read, whilst this video will probably take about 10 minutes to watch. Around about that, I expect it to be last about that long. Here comes the cast then. The Doctor, Colin Baker, Charlie Pollard, India Fisher, Rag Cobden, Philip Maddock, Ned Gillespie, Matthew Burgess, getting carried away, Eleanor Harvey, Susan Brown, Professor Lyle Woodruff is Glyn Sweet, Romilly, Ian Brooker, Security is Andrew Dickens, and the Krotons voiced by, again, Ian Brooker, and of course the one and only, the man behind the Big Finish, Nicholas Briggs. Runtime, it's a one-parter that lasts for 60 minutes. But there's a 20-minute special feature at the end of the disc as well, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about that because it is quite interesting in its own right. So what I'll do first of all is tell you about what goes on in the story. And the Doctor lands on this planet, which is called on Yarkis, I believe it is, and I think you probably would have been able to tell if you looked on the back here, actually. Let's have a look. On Yarkis, yes. Which does have the last surviving humans, and I must say, a lot of different Doctor Who stories have different planets throughout them, whether that's the classic television series, the new television series, Big Finish. There's always going to be a planet which has the last surviving human race on its part, the last surviving members of the human race. And on Yarkis certainly does, and you get there, and there is a certain man, played by Philip Maddock, and we'll have a look again at his name there, and that's Rag Cobden, and he is the sort of the guy behind everything, really, in this place. He's the person that is, let's say, running it. He's in charge, and he's not really best in sort of the best books, let's say. He's not in the good books of the people that live there. Now, it is quite a small cast, really, and there's not a massive amount of characters. That all takes place in pretty much the same place, but there's a couple of security guards who, they capture the Doctor and Charlie, along with an old woman whose name I've forgotten already, which was Eleanor, and also Ned Gillespie as well, played by Matthew Burgess, them two characters, and the Doctor and Charlie all get trapped after being left by these security guards. Now, the character of the older woman, which I'm going to have to apologise, I'm going to have to look at again so I can get it. Of course, Eleanor and Ned, I'm going to have to remember that for future references in this video. The character of Eleanor is pretty much searching for her lost son, and she feels as if that Philip Maddock's character, Rag Cobden, the leader, let's call him, has sort of taken him, and they killed him. They disposed of him, I think it's called, or I think the Doctor refers to as getting rid of, or something like that. And they try to do the same with the Doctor Charlie, and of course the two new people that are joined alongside them. And they sort of get dropped into a pile of rubbish in a junkyard where the people are supposed to sort of die. And they get saved by a ship which have the brilliant Krotons on it. Now, the Krotons only get introduced to the story about 30 minutes in, really. And the Krotons come to life, and they want the Doctor to use his brain power in order to get the Krotons all back to life and to be sort of out of the place where they are, off the spaceship, and go to inhabit another planet or something like that, because the Krotons must have been there for centuries, stranded in that ship for centuries, dead pretty much. And so then what goes on to happen is the Doctor escapes, and I must say personally, actually, before I go into sort of the ending of the story, so that this is a story that when I ordered it, I was really, really looking forward to getting it, because I absolutely adore the Krotons TV story in the 1960s with Patrick Troughton, and a brilliant Doctor he is as well, Patrick Troughton. Although my favourite Doctor is Colin Baker, I thought that him taking on the Krotons could probably be better than Patrick Troughton. But this is a little bit of a dull story in some senses. It's got a good storyline to it, with the Krotons taking over the mind of certain people, and making sure that he disposes of them for the Krotons to get, and sort of trap them and then use to their own advantage. And now there's a certain character in it, of course, which was Ned Gillespie, who got captured by the Krotons and was turned into a Kroton, and he helped the Doctor and Charlie, and of course the character of the older woman. I've forgotten her name again. I need to remember this, honestly. Eleanor. I keep thinking Evelyn because of Evelyn Smythe, the companion. Eleanor. I've got to remember that because I'm going to have to name her a few more times. Anyway, he helps them sort of escape by sort of summoning Charlie, Eleanor, to be with the Doctor, and to make sure that they're safe. The Doctor runs away, and the Doctor ups the volume of the power and pretty much blows all the Krotons up, and that is how it all ends, really. Also with the destruction of Ned as well. And if I recall, because it was a while ago when I listened to the story, I think it was about a day ago, so not that long ago, but when I listened to the story, I believe the character played by Philip Maddock, of course, was killed during the process, but you don't really get a full ending, actually, so I could be completely wrong, because once the Krotons blow up, the Doctor goes mad through lack of oxygen, and they just end up in the TARDIS, and they leave, and it moves on to the next story, which is an interesting one as well, because I actually have this story. I've got it the same day as I got Return of the Krotons, which is a story called The Rain Cloud Man, and I noticed that it follows on from this story, because it actually says on the back of the Rain Cloud Man, having just defeated the Krotons, the Doctor and Charlie are taking on this new mission. And actually, Rain Cloud Man will be the next Big Finish audio that I'm going to review here on the Cyberlord YouTube channel as well, which is absolutely going to be brilliant to review and, of course, upload on the channel. As I said in the previous video, lots of different big finishes on the way. Now, before I do my score out of 10, I will quickly talk to you about Philip Maddock, because it's quite interesting. Philip Maddock actually was in the original Kroton story, as I mentioned earlier, with Patrick Troughton in the late 1960s, and he was also in some other stories with Tom Baker. I think he was in a John Pertwee story. He was also in the Dalek Invasion of Earth as well with William Hart. So he was in a lot of different Doctor Who stories. He'd been in two Big Finish at this time of recording, and he won't be in any others because I believe he's passed away. And he was in the Master series that Big Finish release, and of course this one as well. I think it's brilliant that Nicholas Briggs did this and brought Philip Maddock back. 2008 this was filmed. I think well, not filmed, but recorded, and I believe the Krotons was filmed in 1968. So I think it's literally 50 years later, or 40 years later, should I say. He's returned to the role of taking on the Krotons, and I figured this out, not figured it out, but I worked it out in a way, and understood this through the 25-minute sort of interview documentary with the cast and crew as well at the end, which is always a really good listen to. I always listen to it because there's always some good facts that I can use in our reviews here on the YouTube channel. But that will be it for today. No, hang on. 10 out of 10. How can I forget my 10 out of 10? Well, not 10 out of 10. 7 out of 10. It's a good story, but I think as I say, it lacks a little bit of action, but the whole plot behind it is definitely in my favour. But that will be it for today's video, guys. If you did enjoy, please like and subscribe to the Cyberlord YouTube channel. It'd be greatly appreciated by me if you could do so. I also have Instagram and Twitter accounts. Both of them are over there at Cyberlord. If you'd also like to be back over here on YouTube, turn on notifications to be notified whenever I upload a new video on the channel. I've got at least another 4 or 5 different Big Finish audios coming up daily. It is Big Finish that I'm doing daily at the minute because I have so many of them that have all just come at once. I want to listen to them and of course record them. Or listen to them, record reviews of them for you guys as well. Now, I'm not going to shy away from doing reviews of ones that I don't enjoy too much. I can't say I didn't enjoy this one a lot, but there might be one of the few that I've actually got ready to listen to that I might not enjoy. I'm still going to definitely do it because I've done that for other things as well. It's good, definitely good to get my opinions out here on the channel. But that'll be it for today's review, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and until then, I'll see you in the next one.